Now on 12, a man beaten and left on the street to die in East New York. Now, nearly 4 months later, police finally making an arrest in his murder. And a beautiful weekend in our borough. Will the trend of hot weather continue throughout the week? We've got those answers and more in your weather on the 2s. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets. We begin with 12 on crime now. Police make an arrest in the beating death of a man, his body left on the street. Kurt Husel of East New York is in police custody now, charged with the murder in the death of a 26-year-old man on Elder Avenue near Dumont Avenue. Police found the man back in late June with severe head trauma. EMS later pronouncing him dead at that scene. Police ruled the death a homicide just the next day. And in other crime news, 3 Brooklyn men are in police custody after an early morning shooting in front of a health and beauty store in Manhattan. Police say around 1 a.m. officers were sitting in an unmarked vehicle in the Flatiron district. They heard gunshots and saw a man get into a Mercedes that sped off. After a quick chase, those suspects were all arrested. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition with 6 gunshot wounds to his lower body. He is expected to recover. Police say the shooting was not random. And back in our borough, more crime. Police searching for these 2 suspects in connection to 3 different burglaries in Brighton Beach spanning from September 18th to October 5th. Now, police believe the 2 hop over fences and break locks to gain access to stores. In one case, they say the 2 broke into a T-Mobile store through the roof and rappelled down a rope. Now, anybody with information that can help police in any of these cases is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS, and our Spanish-speaking friends can call 1-888-57-PSTUB. Well, officials in New York are pushing for more money to update the state's 911 system. Data shows New York trails behind other states in the country when it comes to pinpointing the location of cell phone callers, especially in rural areas. Now, most states impose fees on phone bills in order to perform necessary updates on the emergency systems, but officials say that money allocated in New York is routinely diverted away for other uses. Time now for a check of your hyper-local weather on the 2s.
Hi, meteorologist Bill Corbell checking your weather, and what a nice weekend it was, and what a nice day. We actually hit 70 around good portions of Brooklyn. A few clouds to our west, even a couple of light showers back towards the Great Lakes. Really not much of an impact. They'll probably fall apart, but they will certainly lead us to some warmer temperatures. Look how warm it is in the Midwest. Summertime temperatures up into western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle in the mid-90s. Well, we're not going to see that, but we could see 80 starting Tuesday. So Futurecast shows, again, just a slight chance of a brief shower. I think just mostly cloudy will do it tonight and tomorrow. As we head into Tuesday night, Wednesday, that's when the skies really clear out, and that's when it turns even warmer. So we're looking for lows tonight, fairly comfortable, a little warmer than it should be, actually, with lows around 61, say 60, 62 degrees across the borough with mostly cloudy skies. Monday looks great. We'll be in the upper 70s, might even nudge 80 up in Park Slope. A little cooler Sheepshead Bay because of the ocean, well, at least the bay influence there in the west end of the Atlantic Ocean. Beyond that, it gets even warmer. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could be looking at some record high temperatures, close to 80 degrees. We'll have a slightly cooler temperature, but still warm on Thursday, possible showers Friday and Saturday, then slightly cooler Sunday. But short term, look at that, through Wednesday, almost summer-like around.
Beautiful forecast, and tens of thousands of Brooklynites took advantage of nice weather and marched for breast cancer awareness today. News 12 Brooklyn reporter Naomi Choi Smith has the latest from Prospect Park.
A sea of pink, tutus, wigs, tiaras, thousands decked out in the symbolic color for breast cancer.
Everyone's out here supporting someone. It's either a caregiver or a survivor or just friends.
Teams of all ages, men and women alike, marching through Prospect Park and all over the country to unite against the disease.
I am a 10-year survivor. I just made 10 years. So it's very important for me to be out here and just sharing my story to other survivors and making them feel comfortable like they too can overcome this.
The annual march, part of a nationwide effort at raising money for breast cancer research.
They're looking at different environmental factors that might impact breast cancer, whether it's obesity, whether it's excessive weight loss, weight gain, etc.
Organizers also hoping to raise awareness that early detection is key.
If you see or feel something, immediately get it checked out. And always go for a mammogram, always.
There's no shortage of fighting spirit here.
The cheers we're doing right now are for like the survivors and the people who are still fighting.
The American Cancer Society estimates more than 245,000 women will be diagnosed with the disease this year alone, and more than 40,000 will die from it.
And more people surviving year after year, and that's really, really exciting for us here.
In Prospect Park, Naomi Choi-Smith, News 12 Brooklyn.
And this takes us to our question of the day, this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Have you participated in any awareness events? Let us know on our website at news12.com or on channel 612. The health department is teaming with animal care centers of New York City to provide free rabies vaccinations to dogs and cats this month. On Sunday, dog and cat owners went to Vermont Street near Linden Park for those shots. New York City requires all puppies and kittens to get their first rabies shot between 3 and 4 months old, and they also need to get a booster shot 1 year later and then another every 1 to 4 years. Now we want to hear from you on all of the stories you see here on News 12. Maybe show us a picture of your dog or cat. Head over to Facebook and leave us a comment by searching for News 12 Brooklyn. You might even see your comment right here on the air. 1 week ago, Brooklyn's District Attorney Ken Thompson passed away from cancer. Yesterday, a going home ceremony held to remember the iconic DA. As the borough continues to mourn, a replacement must be found for Thompson. And still there's no official word on who will replace him, but the New York Post is reporting a group of Brooklyn politicians want Governor Cuomo to appoint public advocate Letitia James to that post. Chief Assistant Eric Gonzalez has been acting DA since Thompson announced he would step down to battle that cancer. I'm Dave Roush. You're watching News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets. Coming up, edible plants in Prospect Park. We're taking a tour with an expert around the borough's largest park as he explains the abundance of edible plants found in the area.
I wish she was still here because every time she came up, she would bring us toys, and for Easter, she would put the Easter eggs out, put money in them. I got involved in pancreatic cancer so other kids don't have to lose a relative. We walked for her to find a cure to raise money. Every time we walk, they do a different location. It's like a trail. We walk and then there's like this big festival there, and there's music, and you can get t-shirts, and they're like you take a photo with all your friends and family who's walking with your group. Well, I have a good feeling to do it because at the end of the walk there's lots of fun and games and all that. I would tell other kids to like have a bake sale to raise money, or ask their school to help them with something. You should do it so you can raise money. The money goes to try to help find a cure. We lost someone we love to pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is why we walk.
Why we had a bake sale.
Why we organized a school fundraiser.
Pancreatic cancer is why the Lustgarten Foundation is funding research to find a cure.
And Cablevision's support ensures that 100% of every donation to the foundation goes directly to research.
CurePC.org is the way to join the Lustgarten Foundation and Cablevision. Fight pancreatic cancer. Visit CurePC.org.
The News 12 app for your Droid. All your local news, weather, and traffic, plus live streaming of News 12. Download it today. It's free from Google Play. News 12, as local news gets.
It was a scavenger hunt in Prospect Park. Visitors on a foraging tour were looking for vegetables, berries, mushrooms, and nuts. News 12 Brooklyn's Nicole Ryan walked with the group, who was being led by wild man Steve Brill.
It has over 40 biologically active compounds in it, anti-venom, antihistamine.
Meet wildman Steve Brill.
And it grows around most of the world.
On a warm Sunday afternoon, we found him at Prospect Park taking these nature enthusiasts on a foraging tour.
These are blackberries. So there's tons of plants. They are renewable. You have to identify them, so you get the right plant. There are some poisonous things there.
Brill pointed out the plants you can eat. Others can be used as medicine and special herbs for making tea, all growing right here in the park. He says Prospect Park is a great place to go foraging in the fall.
Well, common plantain, which I roast into chips like kale chips, and it's really good for skin irritations, insect bites. Black walnut, one of the best tasting and most nutritious nuts in the world. The spice bush, which is a wonderful herb tea.
A cool experience for those on the foraging tour.
Yeah, I mean, I found a bunch of things. These are some black walnut seed pods, and inside of them, there are real walnuts, and you can use the husks for dyeing different things. But mostly they're just to protect the nut, and then inside you can try the nut.
How much around us is edible? You know, how much that we would normally just walk by, that you could eat, you could put in your mouth, and you won't have to go to the supermarket.
So, if there's any more of these on the ground, you can roast the seeds, but it looks like we're too early.
Reporting from Prospect Park, Nicole Ryan, News 12, Brooklyn.
A beauty pageant in our borough today, but it's not your typical pageant. It's celebrating grandmas who are competing for the title of Your Highness Grandmother. News 12 Brooklyn's Hannah Kleiger is in Brighton Beach with that story.
Age is nothing more than just a number here as the ladies take to the stage in their community to bring smiles to the audience. And it's all about shattering stereotypes of women in their golden age. Grandmothers dressed in sparkles, singing, dancing, and having fun, surrounded by their husbands, children, grandchildren for support, celebrating their age, celebrating their families and their communities. All of these women are from countries in the former Soviet Union, but they found their homes in this Russian enclave in our city.
They're 80, 75, 80, 85, even 90, but they're full of life, full of optimism.
Enjoy your life. It doesn't matter. You see, they're not sick. Ask them. He's walking with walkers, but gives them chance to perform. No walkers.
Now, what does it take to be a Your Highness grandmother? Well, the judges here, they tell me that being a grandmother itself is talent enough. But what they're looking for is energy, creativity, and a love for their families. From Brighton Beach, Hannah Kleiger, News 12, Brooklyn.
Love their energy. We turn to news around the world now. Women in Aleppo, Syria, taking to the streets to protest Russian airstrikes. They call themselves Free Women of Aleppo. The protesters carrying banners thanking other protesters over in Munich, Germany, who created a human chain outside the Russian and U.S. consulates. 2 Georgia men are dead after a boating accident in Virginia. It happened on the Potomac River during a boating event with hundreds of spectators. That crowd watched in shock as the boat flipped over, killing both men on board. One witness saying the boat was going over 150 miles per hour before that crash. Several reports indicate the pair was participating in an event called the Potomac River Radar Run. Time now for a check of your hyperlocal weather forecast, and it is a good one as you head back to work for your Monday. It's not going to feel like mid-October. It'll actually feel like early September. More clouds and sun for your Monday, high of 77. Those clouds move out for Tuesday, and the temperature goes up to 79 for your Wednesday. More clouds than sun, high of 81. And then things start to get back to seasonable for this time of year. More clouds and sun on Thursday, 70. Next chance for rain comes next weekend. Stick around. We're coming right back.
I wish she was still here because every time she came up, she would bring us toys, and for Easter, she would put the Easter eggs out, put money in them. I got involved in pancreatic cancer so other kids don't have to lose a relative. We walked for her to find a cure to raise money. Every time we walk, they do a different location. It's like a trail. We walk and then there's like this big festival there, and there's music, and you can get t-shirts, and they're like you take a photo with all your friends and family who's walking with your group. Well, I have a good feeling to do it because at the end of the walk there's lots of fun and games and all that. I would tell other kids to like have a bake sale to raise money, or ask their school to help them with something. You should do it so you can raise money. The money goes to try to help find a cure. We lost someone we love to pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is why we walk.
Why we had a bake sale.
Why we organized a school fundraiser.
Pancreatic cancer is why the Lust Garden Foundation is funding research to find a cure.
And Cablevision support ensures that 100% of every donation to the foundation goes directly to research.
CurePC.org is the way to join the Lust Garden Foundation and Cablevision. Fight pancreatic cancer. Visit CurePC.org.
The News 12 app for your Droid. All your local news, weather, and traffic, plus live streaming of News 12. Download it today. It's free from Google Play. News 12, as local news gets.
All you athletic moms out there, you can tell us that working out while being pregnant can be really tough, but it is still important to stay active and healthy, especially for your little bundle of joy. And News 12's Linnea Batiste met with a certified pre- and postnatal workout coach who has some easy tips to help get you started.
Having a baby is a wonderful time in a woman's life, but baby weight is real and sometimes you just want it gone. Personal trainer Yada Beener is certified in pre- and postnatal workouts and met at the Manhattan Athletic Club in Brooklyn with tips on how moms can shed those pounds safely at home.
I think that specifically pre- and post workouts are functional for women.
Because Yada says going into labor is work.
I like to call it the preparation for the marathon because delivery is something that's very taxing on the body.
So for all of my soon-to-be mothers, Yada says start with a plank.
So make sure that you're still connected into having a tight, flat stomach, hopefully, after you deliver the baby. Squeeze tight so that your hips are straight. There you go. You want to also send your shoulders back towards your ankles. Linnea, remember a breath out with each rep. Hey. Nice work.
If this doesn't work for you, try using a kettlebell.
You're already carrying more weight in front of you as your center of gravity shifts forward. So what I want to do is speed that change in your body. Actually, I don't mind a squat.
But the real work comes in once the baby is here, and Yada says it's about reconnecting with your body after delivery.
It's really about relearning that part of your body after pregnancy.
First postnatal workout, a simple leg drop core exercise.
So you're gonna start on the floor and go back slowly. You're gonna drop 1 foot at a time, trying to maintain contact between your lower back and the floor.
And revisiting the kettlebell squat, but adding a bit more.
So put the arm forward, squeeze the belly in, fire up. You're gonna push the weight up, the back, tight butt.
Yada says whichever workout you decide, ultimately it's about being healthy for your family.
Because she will be lugging that child around anywhere from the day they're born to the day they're 3 years old, because some kids like to continue to be carried.
For Ready, Set, Fit, I'm Linnea Batiste.
The daughter of an American Olympic sprinter dies after being shot early Sunday morning in Kentucky. Police say Tyson Gay's daughter, Trinity Gay, was shot in the neck when a group of men in 2 cars began shooting at each other. Police have located one of the cars that may have been involved in that shooting and are questioning possible suspects. A 30-year-old Fort Greene resident had brain surgery just a year ago and now is getting ready to run the New York City Marathon next month. News 12 Brooklyn's Emily Lorsch tells us more about Danielle Hassett's incredible story in this Best of Brooklyn report.
I met up with Danielle Hassett right before her routine run and heard all about the many obstacles she's faced over the years that haven't stopped her from doing what she loves. Hassett has been running for several years, but after starting to experience partial seizures in 2012, she was forced to stop. When she was just 6 months old, she had bacterial meningitis. It left her hearing impaired, and doctors believe that's what caused her health issues when she was 26. After trying 5 medications in 3 years to no avail, the only option left was brain surgery. Hassett had surgery last July and only 6 months later was back running again. Now she's getting ready for the New York City Marathon.
And being able to run again felt liberating. I felt fearless again, just getting out there, and running to me is cathartic. When I run, it is just my time to myself to think about and do whatever I want. So having that back is amazing.
This is actually going to be Hassett's second time running in the New York City Marathon. While she's not as fast as she was before her brain surgery, for her, she says it's not about speed. Reporting downtown, Emily Lorsch, News 12 Brooklyn.
In the latest in the race for the White House, Donald Trump is getting some more support following allegations that he inappropriately touched women. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani says he does not believe Trump did it. He says that he and Trump are good friends and Trump would never inappropriately touch women.
I believe Donald Trump. I don't know about the 9 women. I haven't studied the case. I'm a lawyer. I'd have to study each case
to tell you that. I'm not going to engage in Clinton-type conduct and attack them. I'm just telling you that I believe he's telling the truth. I do not believe some of these things appear to me on their face to be kind of untrue.
And two new polls show Trump's Democratic opponent is leading him in the race to the White House. A Washington Post ABC News survey has Hillary Clinton ahead of Trump by 4 points. An NBC News Wall Street Journal poll gives Clinton an 11-point lead. And Election Day is less than 4 weeks away. Trump and Clinton will face off again Wednesday in the third and final presidential debate, slated to take place in Las Vegas. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets. Coming up in sports, the Giants needed a win Sunday in the worst kind of way. Could Odell Beckham Jr. lead Big Blue to a victory? Highlights straight ahead.
I wish she was still here because every time she came up, she would bring us toys, and for Easter, she would put the Easter eggs out, put money in them. I got involved in pancreatic cancer so other kids don't have to lose a relative. We walked for her to find a cure to raise money. Every time we walk, they do a different location. It's like a trail. We walk and then there's like this big festival there, and there's music, and you can get t-shirts, and they're like you take a photo with all your friends and family who's walking with your group. Well, I have a good feeling to do it because at the end of the walk, there's lots of fun and games and all that. I would tell other kids to like have a bake sale to raise money, or ask their school to help them with something. You should do it so you can raise money. The money goes to try to help find a cure. We lost someone we love to pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is why we walk.
Why we had a bake sale.
Why we organized a school fundraiser.
Pancreatic cancer is why the Lustgarten Foundation is funding research to find a cure.
And Cablevision's support ensures that 100% of every donation to the foundation goes directly to research.
CurePC.org is the way to join the Lustgarten Foundation and Cablevision. Fight pancreatic cancer. Visit CurePC.org.
The News 12 app for your Droid. All your local news, weather, and traffic, plus live streaming of News 12. Download it today. It's free from Google Play. News 12, as local news gets.
Hi, meteorologist Bill Corbell checking your weather, and what a nice weekend it was, and what a nice day. We actually hit 70 around good portions of Brooklyn. A few clouds to our west, even a couple of light showers back towards the Great Lakes. Really not much of an impact. They'll probably fall apart, but they will certainly lead us to some warmer temperatures. Look how warm it is in the Midwest. Summertime temperatures up into western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle in the mid-90s. Well, we're not going to see that, but we could see 80 starting Tuesday. So Futurecast shows, again, just a slight chance of a brief shower. I think just mostly cloudy. We'll do it tonight and tomorrow. As we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday, that's when the skies really clear out, and that's when it turns even warmer. So we're looking for lows tonight, fairly comfortable, a little warmer than it should be, actually, with lows around 61, say 60, 62 degrees across the borough with mostly cloudy skies. Monday looks great. We'll be in the upper 70s, might even nudge 80 up in Park Slope. A little cooler Sheepshead Bay because of the ocean, well, at least the bay influence there in the west end of the Atlantic Ocean. Beyond that, it gets even warmer. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could be looking at some record high temperatures, close to 80 degrees. We'll have a slightly cooler temperature, but still warm on Thursday, possible showers Friday and Saturday, then slightly cooler Sunday. But short term, look at that, through Wednesday, almost summer-like around.
And Kurt's here with sports. Kurt, the Giants not really been on a good run lately.
No, it's been a rough month for them right now, and the Giants themselves and their fans looking for any signs of life, because in any sport, but in the NFL especially, those long losing streaks really can destroy a season. And that's where the Giants found themselves Sunday afternoon, on the verge of a fourth straight loss, and they got off to a horrible start against the Ravens at MetLife Stadium, falling behind 10-0. They were still behind here in the third quarter. Eli Manning going to look for Odell Beckham Jr. He's been having trouble finding him lately, but right here, nice job. Beckham makes the grab and goes 75 yards to the house. Now, Beckham, you may remember, hit a kicking net on the sideline a couple weeks ago. Well, looks like they've made up completely. That continues on Sunday. More of that in just a bit. Meanwhile, after an awful pass interference call, Baltimore takes it in from 2 yards out to go back in front. So the Giants needed one more big play. 4th and 1, Manning to Beckham again, and it's a foot race, and Beckham, he's going to win that pretty much every time. He's got a reservation for 6, 222 yards receiving Sunday. Giants go in front. Beckham decides he's ready to settle down, proposing to the kicking net, which I guess said yes. Anyway, big win for the G-men, 27-23. Never know what's going to happen with them next. Well, some sad news from the NFL. Former Jets lineman Dennis Byrd died Saturday night after a car crash near his home in Oklahoma. Byrd, best remembered for colliding with a teammate back in 1992, suffering a broken back, and despite being told he'd never walk again, he defied those odds and did just that. His number 90 was retired by the Jets back in 2012. Byrd was 50 years old. Well, there isn't a division in the city that creates better rivalries than the PSAL basketball Brooklyn AA division. After battling each other on the high school courts, Rasheem Dunn and Gianni Ford, well, they now find themselves college teammates at St. Francis Brooklyn. But more than that, the two guards are actually roommates as they begin their freshman seasons in Brooklyn Heights. Dunn comes out of Jefferson, where he was one of the key pieces on the team that won both the city and state federation championships last season. That's something Gianni Ford knows very well. The leading scorer each of the past 2 years at Boys and Girls High, he never made it further than the city semifinals. And while they're now on the same team, Dunn admits he's not above a few good-natured reminders.
Sometimes I clown him, but me having PSAL championship and the state championship, we kind of fool around with that. But yeah, that's my roommate.
That's my bro. I mean, we go through it sometimes on the court. You know, we was rivals, so we go through it a little. But we just making each other better.
Now, David Villa and NYCFC trying to lock up a first-round bye in the MLS playoffs. They visited DC United Sunday. It did not go well. First half, the cross goes through the box to Patrick Mullins, who finds the back of the net. And that makes it 1-0. A few minutes later, they keep pouring it on. Off the corner, it's Bobby Boswell. That's using your head. Villa added a goal on a penalty kick later on, but it would not be enough. NYCFC loses the match 3-1. They got one match left in the season. Meanwhile, going back to Ford and Dunn, got a chance to meet both of those guys when they were in high school. Both great kids. St. Francis and Glen Brake have got two great players there going forward. And, of course, winning will keep them great, happy, and, of course, joking with each other.
It's so nice to see that sportsmanship go on, and they can be rivals and friends. And
absolutely, and it's always fun to go down there and root on some Brooklyn kids out of Brooklyn School.
All right. Yep. Thanks so much, Kurt. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets. Let's take one more look at our question of the day. We want to know, have you participated in any breast cancer awareness events? It is October, that's Awareness Month, and we want to find out what you've been up to. Let us know at news12.com or by going to channel 612. Stick around, we're coming right back.
News 12 Brooklyn, as local news gets.